Okay, I don't know if this is going to work, Addie, because my voice is even worse than yesterday. But I'm going to try, and then I'm going to listen to it. And if it's too horrible, then I won't make you do it. But I'm going to really try. Maybe I should try and whisper because it sounds a little better. I sound less like a hag. But I don't know if you'll be able to hear it. I'm just going to try. Okay, here we go. Today we are going to talk about algebraic expressions. This is where it starts to get a little tricky, so this is where you really have to pay attention. Before we start, for the next time you think the 80s were cool, this is seriously yearbook photos from the 80s. I'm not even kidding. Like, it looks cool when you watch shows about the 80s now, but we clean it up. We don't show you the actual. I mean, I am pretty sure I have yearbook photos. I know I did this to my hair at some point. I think I did this to my hair at some point. And yeah, it was pretty scary. I mean, look at those people. Wow, that's a lot of hairspray. No wonder there was a hole in the ozone layer at the time. Good thing it's fixed now. All right, here the lesson is going to remind us that a number is just an idea, and these are all numerals or numerical expressions or some sort of number, combination of numbers that have a value of 7. When you look at all of these, the value is 7. Okay, now we're going to start adding letters, which are basically variables. And once you add letters to a group of numbers like that, then you have what we call an algebraic expression. The value of the algebraic expression we can define. For example, we might say that the value of this algebraic expression is 9. If the whole expression has a value of 9, then we know that x is equal to 5, because that's what makes that true. You could say that this whole expression has a value of 15. If we say that, then the variable, because it's going to vary depending on what we choose for the value, is equal to 11. Okay? So whenever we see an expression like this, the letters are called variables or unknowns. And the numbers are called constants because they have to be that number every time. If you're bored by this, don't worry. It's going to get really, really tricky soon. Now, these things, when you look at these different expressions, these are all different ways that you can say that these two things are multiplied by each other. Except one. Which one does not mean multiplication? Okay, if you look over it, if you guess this, that is correct. This is obviously just the number 45. So you don't multiply the 4 and 5 together, duh, it's just a number. But everything else, even this, basically means x times y times m. So we're going to have to remember that when we see two numbers side by side. Okay. Ooh, I'm going to lose my freaking mind. I'm going to lose my voice and my mind. I think I already have. Now, you can see where this is going next. They're going to start giving us algebraic expressions, and we're going to have to use order of operations because that's what we've been working on to figure this out. So if they give us something like this, then they're going to have to tell us x is equal to 3 or m is equal to 5. What do we do next? We plug a 3 anywhere that there's an x, and you have to remember that if they told us that x is equal to 3, then for that problem, it's going to be 3 everywhere there's an x. So we put a 3 in here, and we put a 3 in here. Okay, and then m is equal to 5, so we're going to plug that in there. So what this ends up looking like is this: 4 times 3 plus 5 times 3. Then we have to do order of operations. Okay, so we're going to do one expression at a time. These multiplication, we do it first. 4 times 3 is going to be 12. 5 times 3 is going to be 15. We add that together and we get 27. And that's the answer. Okay. We're going to go over lots of examples. I know, you're like, show me. Because this is what it's going to be like in your problems. So basically what we're going to do today is lots and lots of examples. Let's start with example 14.1. Let's find the value of this expression. They tell us what the value of each variable is. So all we have to do is plug in a 4 when we see an x, plug in a 5 for the m, plug in a 2. This is 4 times 5, which is 20 times 2. So we get 40, and that's the final answer. So easy, right? Now let's keep on seeing what's going on here, because you know it's not going to be that easy in your homework. So how could they make it trickier? They could do this. More order of operations. Do not let these test makers trick you. We're just going to plug in these numbers. Y is equal to 2, z is equal to 10. So bring everything else down. Bring down the 4. The y is going to be equal to 2. First thing, just write it all out. Bring everything else down. Then look at it. What do we do with order of operations first? We do multiplication. 4 times 2 is 8 times 10 minus 5. Now we're going to do that first. So we have 80 minus 5, and that's 75. Final answer. Okay? Let's see what they are going to do next. They're going to try and trick us with something harder. Oh, yeah. Remember all those negatives and the opposite of we did? We did that for a reason. Because check this out. Here we have a z, but we have y minus z. And then the z is a negative number. So do not let them trick you on this. You get it right, okay? You get it right. You're smarter than them. We're going to do y minus, and then just plug in this for the z. So a negative 6. Okay. Oh, I forgot to plug in the y. The y is going to be a negative 2. So I'm going to erase this and put negative 2. Sometimes it helps me to do parentheses like that, because then I can cancel out some of those negatives. So I have negative 2 plus a positive 6. And then I kind of just think, well, this is the same as 6 minus 2, which is 4. Okay? Don't let them trick you. That's how they're going to get you. You get it right, and you get it right the first time. Because I promise, if this is a multiple choice test, what do you think is going to be on the answers? They're going to have a negative 4, a positive 4, a 0, something weird, and then it's going to be confusing. But if you get it right the first time, you'll be like, oh, I know this. It's B. Easy. And you can move on. Okay. Oh, now look what they're doing to us. Look. We have negative numbers, plus we have to figure out order of operations. Let's start by just plugging everything in. So this is negative a, which is a negative 3. So I'm going to plug that in. Minus b. B is going to be negative 4. Minus a, which is negative 3. And b, which is negative 4. Now take a step back. Take a step back. What are we going to do first? Let's do, well, let's see. What can we do first? When I see two negatives like this, I like to make them into a positive. So I'm going to do that. So I have 3 plus a positive 4. Now I cannot do that here. Do not do it there because you have to multiply this first. Multiplication always happens before algebraic addition. So just bring that down and then do this multiplication problem first. Negative 3 times negative 4 is going to be positive 12. Okay, now we just go left to right because this is all addition and subtraction. 7 minus 12, and we get negative 5. Yes, final answer. Okay, we can do this. Now we're feeling confident. No mistakes. One of those little negative signs can make the whole problem wrong. So no mistakes. You got to get it right. Let's start by plugging everything in and just rewriting the problem. Minus x, but x is 2. So I'm going to put a 2 there. Minus, and then I have negative a plus b. A is negative 4. So I'm going to do, whoa, look, this is getting tricky. I'm going to do negative 4 plus b, which is negative 6. Ooh, okay, let me see if I can do this. Negative 4 plus negative 6. And then I'm going to turn this into brackets. See how I did that? No mistakes. You got to do this part right in order to get it right. Let's just start by simplifying and bringing everything else down. Negative 2 minus, I can turn this part into a positive 4. So positive 4, and I can just turn that into negative 6. That, for me, that's easier to think about. So it's basically negative 6 plus 4, which is going to be negative 2. And everything else, I'm going to bring it down. Now I have negative 2 minus a negative 2, which I can just turn that into plus a positive 2. Negative 2 plus 2 is equal to 0. Let's see if I got that right, because that one was tricky. Yep, I got it right. Whoa, if I can do it, you can do it, Addie, for sure. Let's do this one example, 14.6. All right, no room for error. We got this, we got this. Are you starting to feel confident? All right, let's do it. Let's just plug numbers in, okay? We'll start with x, which is negative 2, minus y, which is positive 3. I'm just going to write 3. It's the same thing. Now I have negative a. Negative a. You could just think of it as, since the negative sign here is only in front of the a, you could think of it as the opposite of a. And the opposite of a is a positive 4. Plus x, which is negative 2. Okay, I'm going to change these into brackets. Okay, here we go. Let's start with inside the brackets first. We have to start with the nucleus. 4 plus negative 2 is the same as 4 minus 2. So we have 2. Look where the 3 is. Everything else, just bring it on down. But look where the 3 is. That means we multiply. We have to do that first. Negative 2 minus 6. So the answer is negative 8. That's my final answer. Did we get it right? Yes, we did. Okay. If I can do it, you got this. I hope you're feeling really confident right now. Let's do example 14.7. Just plug things in. It looks awful. Just plug things in. Bring it on down. What's m? M is 2. 2 plus x, which is negative 3. So I'm just going to do 2 minus 3. Okay. Now I have the opposite of A. The opposite of A is 4 plus mx. So m is 2, x is negative 3. Okay, I didn't do brackets this time, but I think I can keep this straight. This is the nucleus. I have to start there. Everything else, I'm going to bring it down. Negative 2 minus 3, 4 plus a negative 6. So let's do this part next. This is the next nucleus. 4 minus 6 is negative 2. Okay, where's the next nucleus? We do multiply these things together, but we have to do inside the parentheses first. So we have to do this first. 2 minus 3. 2 minus 3 is negative 1. Okay, I'm going to ignore this sign for now because that just means the opposite of whatever answer I get. Let's multiply. Negative 1 times negative 2. 1 times 2 is 2. And those signs make it a positive 2. But then I've got this negative out in front, so it's the opposite of that. So my answer is negative 2. And was that the correct answer? Yes, it was. Okay, only one more. I hope you're feeling super confident right now. One more. Let's see if my voice can hang in there. All right, this looks complicated. When I take a step back, this is the nucleus. Let's do that first. Okay, but first I'm going to plug everything in. Negative x times a. X times a is 4 times negative 2. Now I'm going to do x minus a. So I'm going to do 4 minus a negative 2, which is the same as 4 plus 2. I kind of did that in one step, but that's okay. And then I'm going to add a at the end, plus a negative 2 at the end. Okay, what's my new nucleus? I got to do this first. That's my nucleus. So negative 4, negative 2. I'm just bringing everything down. This is now a 6. And instead of plus a negative 2, I'm just going to do minus 2 at the end. But before we do the minus 2, we got to multiply all of these things together. I'm ignoring this one for now. I just know that this means the opposite of whatever answer I get here. So 4 times negative 2 is negative 8 times 6. 8 times 6 is 48. Since there's one negative, it's going to be a negative 48. But don't forget about this sign here now. It's that. So that is the opposite of negative 48, which is going to be just positive 48. And then I have to subtract this at the end. So my answer is 46. I hope when you see these problems on a test that you're like, I got this, baby. I can do this. I mean, you can. You are going to be as confident as L. Let's just take control of these problems. We got it. All right, good luck on your homework, Addie. Love you. Bye.